This is how you debunk Isaiah 9 verse 6. So it reads, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." And first I want to say, no, this verse is not calling Yeshua, who a lot of people call Jesus. If y'all familiar with that name, this verse is not calling him the Most High God. It's not calling him God as in the Most High God, and it's not calling him the Father as in one God, the Father. It's not calling him the Father. Okay, let's see what the mighty God and the everlasting Father really means. So first we see here John chapter 10 verse 34. Yeshua answered them, "Is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods?" So right here, even Yeshua, who some of y'all call Jesus, even he confirms that we are called gods. And no, not gods as in the Most High God, but gods as in ruler, judges, power, like that. So right here I got 1 Samuel chapter 4 verse 7. And it reads, "And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God is coming to the camp. And they said, Woe unto us, for there had not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us, who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods?" So, whoa, but I thought Yeshua was the only mighty God. I thought mighty God meant the Most High God. No, as we can see right here, mighty gods with an S, more than one mighty God. So, if it reads, "These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness." Well, who were those gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues? Moses and his brother. That was Moses and Aaron, and that was the children of Israel, right? The children of Israel are these mighty gods. Mighty gods just means like mighty heroes or mighty men, strong men, or men of, you could say like men of war, or like that. And then in verse 9 it reads, "Be strong and quit yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrews as they have been to you. Quit yourselves like men and fight." Oh, so now we find out those mighty gods were Hebrews. Just as I said, those mighty gods are the children of Israel. They are Hebrews, as it states in verse 9. So verse 10 reads, "And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten." So now we see here in verse 8 who they fought. The Hebrews, which were those mighty gods that it talked about in verse 8. You can't say that mighty gods is talking about the Most High God, because we can see here in verse 10, "And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten." You can't say that they won against the Most High. You can't say that they just fought the Most High and won. You know what sense? How does that even make sense? Like, you got to be honest at this point. So now we're going to talk about the title, the Everlasting Father. This is another title that people go, they talk about. Yeshua's called the Everlasting Father. So let's talk about what this means. Now notice how in Isaiah 9 and 6, right? It says, "For us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder." So what that means is this child is born unto us, right? Which is, we know, is Yeshua, or some of y'all call Jesus. What that means is that the rulership, is going to be in his hands, right? Like, he's going to be the ruler. Like, he's, he gonna be the king. He gonna be the one in charge and leading the people. Like, he's gonna have that authority. And we hear in Isaiah chapter 22 verse 20, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and I will clothe him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle." and I will commit thy government unto his hand, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Now, wait a minute. Did it just say that the son of Hilkiah, Eliakim, it just said that Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, will now have this government into his hands, and he shall be called a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. So you can see it, we back in Isaiah 9:6, right? It says the same thing for Yeshua. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. So just like Eliakim gets that, he now gets that government. We can see here, now this is a prophecy for Yeshua, when he shall get that government as well. And then just like it said in about Eliakim, that he shall be called a father unto Jerusalem, unto the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to the house of Judah. What it say right here for Yeshua? It says that Yeshua shall be called the everlasting father. So Yeshua is going to be their everlasting fathers. So we back in Isaiah chapter 22, verse 21. So we're going to read this verse again. And I will clothe him with thy robe and strengthen him with thy girdle, and I will commit thy governments into his hand, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. Now, all that means for him to be a father to Israel, that just means that he's basically their guider. Like, he's going to guide the people. He's ruling the people, and the authority is in his hand, right? So it's not wrong to call a king the father of his people, or like the father of his nation, or that's not wrong at all, because it's not talking about father as in the Most High God. That it's just another title. Once again, a title is just a title, right? These titles have meanings. That's all it is a title. The father, him being a father to Israel, it just means that he's going to be their leader. He's going to lead them. He's going to be their guidance. He's their ruler. We're going to continue to verse 22. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder, and he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place, and he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house. Notice this is still talking about Eliakim. And they shall hang up on him all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and the issue all vessels of small quantity, from the vessels of cups even to all the vessels of flagons. In that day, saith the Lord of hosts, shall the nail that is fastened in the sure place be removed and be cut down and fall, and the burden that was upon it shall be cut off, for the Lord has spoken it. So this is saying right here, so Eliakim being a father and having that government in his hand, him being a ruler and everything to Israel, that wasn't everlasting. As we can see here in verse 25, the Most High removed it. Luke chapter 1 verse 32, it reads, he shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest, and the Lord God shall give unto him the throne of his father David, and he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. So when it says the house of Jacob, that means the house of Israel. That's talking about Israel. Jacob is Israel. His name was changed to Israel. So as we can see, Eliakim, him being the father and ruling Israel, that was temporary. As we can see, we read that the Most High ended that. But we can see here, Yeshua, it says, of his kingdom there shall be no end. So that's why Eliakim was just a father. He was just a father to them. But Yeshua is an everlasting father to them. This is why. His kingdom, there shall be no end. That's why he's called an everlasting father. So he's going to always be there. His kingdom and ruling is everlasting. That's why he's the everlasting Father, not because he's the most